Today, I'm revealing exactly what it looks like to sell over $7 million on Amazon. Because look, there's a bunch of social media gurus out there using screenshots from several years ago talking about how you should be selling stuff on Amazon. So I want to jump into my actual profit dashboard, and this shows my actual sales and profit from the last week here. But I didn't hit 7 figures buying some crazy new products from China. All I did was figure out how to buy and sell name brand products like this one right here, products that people already want to buy from your Amazon store. So in this video, I'm pulling back the curtain to show you 5 specific products that I sourced myself. I'm going to show you exactly how I find those name brand products and get approved to sell tons of big brands on Amazon. No gatekeeping, no fluff. Let's dive in. So here's example number 1 of something that is profitable on Amazon right now. And this is a good place to start all our examples because I want to talk about the fact that when you sell grocery products on Amazon, and this is a great place to start our examples because it's a good example of something that's just super boring, super stable, consistently sells and consistently makes us money, right? Because this 2-pack of seasonings on Amazon, for some reason, don't ask me why, the data shows that people are paying this price, right? All we have to do is reference SellerAmp to see what people actually want to pay for this item. And in this case, they are paying $28.50, but we can basically turn around and buy the exact same thing from the brand's website here in this case for about $6.50 each. So plugging that in on SellerAmp, that shows me that this item makes me about $5 in profit, almost 20% profit margin, 38% ROI. Everything looks good here. And grocery is where I want to kind of start with you guys because it has a lot of consistency. And the really nice part about grocery products is that Amazon customers pretty much can never return items in the grocery category for food safety reasons. So as long as you're shipping out the correct items to customers, you never have to worry about any extra costs you might run into from those returns. So this is a super simple, super straightforward example of something that we would want to sell on Amazon. So let's keep diving into some more examples here. And like I said, we're going to actually find some of these products together. We'll talk about how to get approved to sell these products because I know even though we're mentioning it really quick, I bet somebody's already in the comments talking about how you can't get approved to sell these brands. So I want to show you how to get around that. Product number 2 here. This one was really interesting to me. Again, it's another proof that people sometimes will just pay whatever on Amazon, right? It's a 2-pack of glasses right here. This is a brand that you can find readily available at Walmart, all over the place. And in this case, I thought this was an interesting example to show you guys how sometimes we're not just buying items directly from the brand's website. A lot of times you can go to these quasi wholesalers where we can buy things in bulk. Think Sam's Club, think Costco, that kind of thing. Obviously, these places are wholesalers, but they're not hard to buy from in the sense of you having to pick up the phone and make distributor relationships and that kind of thing, right? What we can do is we can just go pick up a case of these 16-ounce glasses here for $1.17 each. So we just open up that case. We would go ahead and bubble wrap these glasses here, put them in sets of 2, and then ship them off to the Amazon warehouse. And then when we do that, customers are going to be going on Amazon. They're buying this 2-pack 50 times a month. So every time we pay $2.40 for this 2-pack, we actually make about $7 in profit. And another thing I want to emphasize on these examples is yes, I'm including all the Amazon fees, all the shipping, all that kind of stuff, right? Because if I go down to SellerAmp and expand all the different fees, you'll see in this example, we pay $3 to Amazon to find the customer for us. We pay $6.40 to Amazon for shipping this item out, for doing customer service, all that good stuff. We're also going to pay $1.28 to ship this product into Amazon FBA. That's because it usually costs about 60 cents per pound to ship products to Amazon. So it's obviously going to be baked in there. And then in this example, I even have some sales tax baked in at about 5%, which we're not going to be paying here in this case because we're buying from a wholesaler. So it's actually even slightly more profitable than we expected there. So just before you're wondering about that stuff, yes, all the different fees, all that kind of stuff is included as well. So what other categories can we sell, especially as a new Amazon seller? A lot of people will gravitate towards the clothing category. I know some new sellers hate selling clothes because of the returns, but the upside to selling clothes is that when you find one good product, for example, this product right here, we can get these polos on the brand's website for about 20 bucks. And then we can sell this back on Amazon for about 45. So we make a pretty good profit per unit right there. And even though, yes, there are going to be some returns on this that will eat into that profit, the upside to looking at things like clothes is that when you find one specific version, let's switch to the medium. Let's see, the medium's also 45 bucks, right? Okay, now we have 2 profitable products. Let's try the large. Is the large also profitable? Let's see. It seems like no one's selling it right now. And then we can get into all kinds of other fun stuff, right? You can see no one's selling it right now, but SellerAmp shows me when it was selling, people were paying $43 for it. So here's another profitable product. And this one's especially cool because we could actually bring this product back to Amazon and be the only seller. And it seems like the same is true of the extra large, XXX, and so on down here. So that goes to show how much different opportunity is unlocked when you look at items in the clothing category. Just like I was saying, make sure you're always looking for things as profitably as possible. And one easy way to do that is to actually go back over here into Boxem, and we can literally just ask the AI assistant on Boxem that's designed to help Amazon sellers how we can make more profit at a specific place. voice. So I'm going to use a little bit of voice to text to say, hey, Boxy, I'm sourcing some products on nautica.com and I want to make more profit. What are the things that I can check on to make more profit so to actually make money after my returns? And let's see what Boxy is going to suggest here, because basically this knows everything there is to know about being a reseller on Amazon. So it's saying, hey, we got to build some margin into the returns. Let's make sure we're thinking about our true buy cost, right? So we talked about that, making sure we're including sales tax, shipping, all that good stuff. And then it's suggesting to make sure the deal is forced to be good before we buy, right? So using things like discount codes, we can also look at things like discounted gift cards. And then we might also be able to look into sales tax exemptions on Nautica as well. And if you don't know what some of these things mean, it's got lots of other explanation down here for us. So like, for example, what are discounted gift cards? And we can have the AI here explain. So for example, it's saying, hey, you can go buy discounted gift cards. You buy a $500 face value and you only end up paying $470. And then it's saying we can go to Card Bear to learn more about that. And this is a good marketplace for where you can actually figure out where to buy some of these cards from, right? So this means we could go to Card Center and buy a $100 Nautica gift card, and we're going to pay 22.5% off of the face value. So I want to slowly introduce some of these concepts as we're looking through these examples, because they can really make a big difference. And even though these examples are profitable without kind of going that extra mile, sometimes you are going to have to go the extra mile, and you can always just ask the AI to help you there. On this example, we can go back, and even though we're already making $966 profit, we know we can get about 20% off with that discounted gift card. So now we've basically increased our profit by $4 or so, right? Just for going and taking one extra step. And like I was saying, that can be the difference between not finding a profitable product and finding tons of profitable products. There's several different ways that we can do this as Amazon sellers. So let me go ahead and show you this next example. Here's an example of some mascara I was looking at. Sells 40 times a month, not going to get you rich, right? I just want to show some examples of things without having to burn people's best products that are feeding the family and that kind of thing. Obviously, you're going to go out and find stuff that sells really nice and fast. But like this, for example, sells 40 times a month. We can go over to this website right here and pay $6 per unit to buy this item, which leaves us with about $4 in profit after it's all said and done. So this one's a pretty straightforward example. I like selling in the beauty and personal care category just because there tends to be lots of different sales, lots of different discounts, clearances, that kind of thing on some of these products here. And when it comes to selling like the really good brands, there's usually the gating process, which keeps a lot of like super new Amazon sellers out who are going to be like lowering prices and that kind of thing, which the gating process is a good thing in the long run. You want to have some barriers to entry so that you're actually making money. And don't forget, I'll still show you guys how to get ungated on all these things and even get ungated in a big list of things that you can already sell right now. And before we move to this next example, I also want to mention that there's a free resource for you down below. I basically put together a Google Doc of 3 products that I've actually sold. I made about $2,500 in profit selling these examples that are on the Google Doc. And I break down all 3 of the different sourcing methods I use to find those products. Like I said, it's just on a free Google Doc. I'll leave the link down below. Check out the next example. Let's go ahead and check out another example of a product though, because I need to introduce you to another way that we can create profit margin as an Amazon seller. And that is with this sign up process right here. When you see this on a website though, this means you have a permanent 15% off coupon code as long as you have a catch-all email address. Let me explain what I mean by that, right? So let's say I have a website, right? Warner@mydomain.com is my email address. The first time I plug in my email address right here, they're going to send me that 15% off coupon code to this domain. But if you have a catch-all email, which basically just redirects all your emails to the email inbox you want it sent to, I could literally just do this. I'll just spam my keyboard and it sends that 15% coupon code again, because in this case says, oh, this is a brand new person. Let's send them another 15% off coupon code. But all it's doing is redirecting that coupon code to your main email inbox, right? And there's tons of guides on YouTube and stuff on setting that up. You can even ask the Boxy AI on setting up a catch-all email. So don't let that hold you back, because this stuff can be really big to find things like this, where you can see, okay, this is $22 on their brand's website today. If I plug in $22, not quite profitable, especially when we consider the fact that this is women's clothing, which has some of the highest return rates. We need to make sure we're doing everything possible to actually make profit on this, right? So 22% ROI is not really going to cut it. When we factor in that catch-all email discount, now we have made a 45% ROI, which leaves us a pretty good amount of wiggle room in case there's any returns, problems, that kind of thing. So always just make sure you're leveraging all these different ways to make a profit. And if it is super confusing, it was really confusing to me at the beginning as well. But when I was starting, I didn't have AI and that kind of thing. So once again, just ask the Boxem AI if you have any major questions as you're diving in. And then let's go ahead and break down one more quick example here. This is something I found relatively recently. That's interesting. You can sell whatever you want on Amazon, right? We've sold makeup, clothes, groceries, and you can sell industrial equipment, right? In this case, there is this 3D printing film that we can get for $13 each. And we can go back over to Amazon and sell these for $31 each. So obviously pretty good profit, pretty good ROI. And at this point, you've seen some good examples. So how do we actually source these profitable items? That's where I want to dive in and quickly show you the exact process that I found our very first profitable lead with. I was doing this right before the video started. I want to just kind of find some good examples, products that I would want to buy for my own Amazon business. So all I did is I went ahead and went to SellerAmp, which we've been using to look at fees and stuff. Then click this advanced search button up here. And this is basically going to let me build big lists of products that meet all the criteria that I like to look for in something that is good to sell on Amazon. And if you don't know what the good criteria are to sell on Amazon yet, literally just use this button right here, the good deal template. And I'll just build this from scratch again so you can see. Let's discard the whole thing. We have good deal open. It's filtering for some basic things like making sure the product sells, making sure it's not like extraordinarily heavy, making sure it has some decent ratings, some decent reviews, and then Amazon also doesn't hog all the sales. And then I went ahead and added kinders, right? If you're wondering like, how'd you know to start with that brand? I have already seen a couple good examples of brands to start with. And the nice part about selling on Amazon is after you've found one profitable product, which you have 5 right now, you've found basically as many as you need. Because what we can do is we can open up the storefronts of people who sell these products, right? All we're trying to do is understand, hey, people like me who have small businesses where they want to resell things online, what brands do they sell? So in this case, based on that one example I just showed you, in this storefront, we can see a bunch of different examples, right? Folk art. Okay, let me see if I can find some folk art stuff. Delta Creative, NYX, Izyme, Weather Studio, all these different brands are now opportunities that you can also explore, because looking into someone's storefront basically proves that there is demand and there is the opportunity for success for us as small sellers, right? So that's how I even knew to look into kinders in the first place, because I saw other people doing it. You have 5 examples to go off of, you have all these storefronts to go off of. So you have tons of opportunities to understand like, hey, what should I even look in? And then what I want to do is go ahead and press run. My head's over it. I just press this button right here. And now it's going to show me all of the products in this specific brand that are selling well on Amazon, meet all our criteria, that kind of stuff, right? And then we can basically just go down the list and say, okay, SellerAmp says I need to buy this 2-pack of Mexican seasoning for $2.31. And if I do, I'm going to make my ideal profit, which in my case is 30% ROI and $3 profit. When I Google it, I can see these are typically coming up at $1. It seems like $1.50 each. We need to buy 2 for $2.31. So it's not quite profit, right? And if I scroll down a few, you'll see that exact listing we started with, right? Here's that 2-pack of the seasonings or whatever right here. I noticed that these were like a little bit more expensive than the other ones in terms of the max cost that we need to look for. So that kind of stuck out to me and made me realize I should probably look into that. Or here's another example. This max cost is saying, hey, if you buy this for $6.50, it's profitable. And then if I check this one out, right here it is, 5 ounces of the taco blend. And then we're buying it for $6.50. This is when you buy it for $6.44. So we're not going to be like 5 cents short on profit or something, but you can kind of see how that works, right? So plugging in $6.50. Yeah, we're 6 cents short on my ideal profit. I'm going to be okay with that in this example. But there you can also see kind of how the process works, right? We're just looking into these lists and understanding at a quick glance, hey, what are a lot of these things selling for? So for example, here's 11 ounces. We need to buy it for $3.50. We've been looking at 5 ounces for $6.50. So reasonably, we shouldn't even Google that because it's probably not going to, it's going to be too expensive, right? Let's just Google that to confirm our suspicions here. And let's see. Yeah. So it's showing up at $16 at Walmart. Is this listing here? Yeah. The 6 ounce version is still $6.50, right? So it kind of proves like when you start looking into a product or a type of product, just kind of understand the baseline. What are they charging for this item? And then it makes it much easier to scroll through. And you're even seeing now, probably kind of figuring out, like, oh, okay, these are $6.50. That max cost is $11.50. It's not quite there, not quite there, not quite there. So then it's just a game of kind of more quickly scrolling through until you find something like this. Hey, here's another listing for that fajita stuff, right? That's profitable as well. Scroll through all this because we already did our research to know what's profitable and we're looking for $6 max cost. Hey, I'd probably look up this one now because it's a $10 max cost for 1 bottle. Here's an $11 max cost for 1 bottle. It's a bigger bottle, but just based on the prices we've been seeing, that kind of thing. And that's just one example of one brand. Found an example of a profitable item there. And then just so you understand how to actually get approved to sell these things, the easiest place to start sourcing is to start sourcing with products you're already approved to sell. So that's where you're going to go back into Boxem and click bulk ungate. And then you're going to see this button down here that says check suggested ASINs. This is basically a big default list of products that usually work pretty well for new Amazon sellers. And when you see these products being ungated, that means that it's actually going in and applying for this brand on your behalf and reporting the ones that Boxem just ungated for you. Because before you sell some brands on Amazon, they actually don't really need invoices and that kind of thing. So that's going to start unlocking some potential. That's what I've been seeing as the best place to start for beginners lately, where you'll find a bunch of opportunity. Let's say you want to sell Mainstays, which is a Walmart brand. You could just go back over here into SellerAmp Advanced Search, plug in that brand name, and you can see, okay, not a super high potential brand for us as resellers. If we plug in a different brand and a lot more potential showing up, let's try Haribo. That's going to be a good one. Plug in Haribo right there, and we can see, okay, yeah, there's 220 products that meet all those criteria, right? Those are things we could start looking into selling, buying from the grocery store, selling back on Amazon, that kind of thing. Obviously, not everything's going to get approved for free. So if it goes to the gated category, like for example, my account, I guess I can't sell Purina right now. To sell Purina, all I would do is go to Target and buy some stuff from Purina, go to the Purina website, any of these legit retailers that sell a brand you want to sell, and then you'll upload that invoice on Seller Central. I have full videos breaking down the ungating process if you want to see like, where do I upload things? What do I upload? That kind of thing. But just know, buy from a legit supplier. I like buying from the brand's website if that's an option, and then you'll be able to get approved. But keep in mind, ungating can take a couple weeks. Sometimes you have to go through a lot of submissions for them to actually accept it. There's AI and that kind of thing reviewing it that doesn't do the best job right now. So that's why starting with some of these auto ungated products is a great place for you to start making some of those first sales. And then you're going to be able to find lots of products that look like all these products we've been breaking down today. And with that, if you're ready to dive in and start sourcing some products for your Amazon business, your next steps are to grab a 2-week free trial of SellerAmp and Boxem down below. Start digging into that sourcing method. And I also have a 3-hour-long free Amazon course down below you can check out as well. Like I said, it's completely free if you want to see some of this stuff more in detail. Really appreciate you watching this video. Drop any of those questions you got down below as well. Always happy to chat with you guys. And then if you want to see the rest of the process where we actually get this stuff listed and sold on Amazon, click this video right here.